was just wondering what the process was yesterday. You know, how much was spent on film, how much was spent on rest for players just in between.
Yeah, just really whatever they needed is what they did. Other than we did have team video and a team stretch, but some of them needed treatment, some of them needed a good stretch. So it was just one of those days. We keep showing them different things that helps them understand like what their body needs in a game after a game with one in between. So,
Christine.
So, Christie, levity, I imagine, is a big part of keeping everyone loose and happy and fun. And the video that's out there of Lexi's birthday and Caitlin singing, and she wishes there were other rookies because she has to sing the whole thing by herself.
She does, yes.
And she picks her up and all that. In light of what you did with the game playing and all that in the break that led to the team building and whatever, how important is something as silly and fun that obviously is getting tons of hits out there? How important is that, just those couple moments of levity?
Yeah, I think it's just, once you build relationships with people and get comfortable, it just kind of changes, how you interact daily. And I really think that that's had a huge play in how we've played on the court. These guys spent, time off the basketball court, quality time, just spending time with each other, getting to know each other, kind of just letting their hair down a little bit and having a good time. And so that's, but I've said it, Caitlin is, I won't tell her this, but I'm sure she'll hear it, but she's really a funny person. She has us laughing a lot out on the practice court a lot of times.
Chloe.
Yeah, obviously Wednesday's game was pretty physical. For today, have you done anything like physically or mentally with your team to kind of just prepare for that?
No, not really anything you can do to help with that, but you're completely right. That was a real physical game, way more even going back and watching it, just when I was able to focus on some other things. Just got to make sure we're, Kelsey and Caitlin just couldn't get loose the other night from, their defenders. And it wasn't like, there was a lot of times there was a lot of rapping and holding going on. So hopefully we'll get those calls tonight and they'll have feel a little bit more free trying to get from point A to point B.
Yeah. Alexa, go ahead.
Yeah, Chrissy, just kind of going back to a little bit earlier in the season, when you think about just Kelsey getting healthy and how, she wasn't practicing in training camp and took some time for her to kind of get going, how much was that a factor in just like things not going the way you guys wanted to at first? And when did you start to realize that she was kind of getting into her own groove that we've seen now?
Yeah. Not having Kelsey in training camp was really hard just because, we needed to start just what it was going to look like from day one. But, we weren't able to do it. But she was there every day. She was right on the sideline every day talking. She really talked to Caitlin and the other players, even though she wasn't able to be out there with them. I think Dallas, when we went to the preseason game, she got in. I think that was the first game without any practice. But probably, again, it's still a process. I can't pinpoint a time. It's just been over a period of time with her in there with the other players and just, she's just so dynamic. When you're not used to playing with someone like her, it's different with her ability to get downhill and her ability to knock down shots. And so it was, once we got her back and they started the process of getting to know each other, playing together, it just, we just keep getting better.
Matt.
Yeah, 2 to 3 games ago, Caitlin was pretty expressive, and obviously you've said before that that's the player that she is. On Wednesday, not so much. It was a little bit more reeled in. Does that mean that you or the staff maybe sat down with her, had a little bit of a talk about that?
I mean, we talk about the her competitive spirit a lot. There's just things that we didn't want her to pick up that those technical fouls. We didn't want to. We don't want her. Nobody wants her to sit out. And I think it's just a conversation about what the result will be if you get those, and she understands that, and she obviously doesn't want to have to sit out a game as well. But I mean, again, that's her drive and that's her spirit, and that's something I want her to have it the way she's been all season, and then just maybe we've got to pick and choose some of our times. Like once you realize it's just not going in your favor anymore, it's time to let's go to the next play. So we kind of talk about that, just getting to that next play.
Got time for one more maybe in the room? Kelsey, you got one more?
Coach, could you just talk a little bit more about Aaliyah? Obviously, she had the big night scoring, and she struggled a little bit offensively. And that's kind of been the story. But could you talk a little bit more about her defense and her rebounds and how big of an impact that has made on the last few games?
Yeah, golly, Aaliyah Boston, whether she's scoring or not, and we want her to score, and we're going to get the ball to her down there for as many touches as she needs. But her defensive presence has just been, it's just so solid. And that was, she was really down on herself early, really, but her impact on the defensive end, like we just kept trying to show her like what she's doing for us is just huge. I mean, she broke the franchise record last year in rebounds, I'm pretty sure. And then I think she just broke it again, broke her own record. I mean, that's huge against Asia Wilson and this Vegas team. I mean, the way she's able to rebound the basketball, I mean, she's a huge, huge part of our success.
I don't know if you have any sort of relationship with Asia, but, as one of the faces of the league up to this year, what have you thought of the way she's carried herself throughout her MVP seasons?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's had a tremendous year. Obviously, I don't know her too well coming into this league and just being a rookie, and she's obviously been in this league for many years. But I think getting to witness it firsthand, obviously, this is going to be our fourth time matching up, and we've already played 3 times prior. She's just been incredible. Like, there's only so much you can do. Like, there's so many different schemes you can try to throw at her, but she's able to get to her spots and get what she wants. I think she impacts the game on both ends of the floor, which, not every player can do that. So it's been fun to see. I think she's just been able to expand her game even more and more, whether it's the mid-range, whether it's threes, whether it's off the dribble. So it definitely presents a tough matchup for us, but she's definitely had a tremendous season.
We'll go Chloe, then Christine.
Yeah, you talked about physicality on Wednesday. Just coming into this game, is there anything you can do mentally to just prepare for that?
Yeah, I mean, that's how they've guarded me, every time we've matched up is just like they have strong physical guards. I think they've just played really good defense, honestly. And I think setting and using cuts a little bit better, I think that goes for a whole team, is just like setting people up, taking a couple steps away to come off of a screen a little bit harder. I think, trying to use our speed a little bit better. I think me especially try to get downhill more. I think I was playing side to side a little too much. But I think more than anything, just use change of pace and push in transition and get more stops defensively because, even how we started that game the other night, the reasons we scored was because we had mismatches. So the more we can do that when we get stops on defense and going in transition, the better it's going to be for us.
We'll go Christine, then we'll go Lou.
Caitlin, the idea of levity, of having fun, of laughing, whatever. It looked like you guys were having a great time today at shoot around and another birthday. And I guess as a rookie, the only rookie you said, right?
I have to perform.
Yeah.
It's a tough job.
You said you need more rookies, right?
Yeah, I did.
and then you picked up Lexi.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit about, here these games are so important, right? In the heat of the season, just the value of laughing, joking, and of course, Christie said you're pretty funny and you kind of crack them up. What that means to you and keeps you loose, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, even though we're coming off of a loss where we felt we didn't play very well and I didn't feel like I played very well, and I think everybody keeps everything in perspective really well, is like you're going to have some nights where the ball just doesn't really go your way. I thought the game felt very choppy, but, we came back the next day and everybody, was happy to be here and excited to work and excited about the next opportunity is, we get another chance at them on our home court. So I think that's where it comes from. But also I think this team has really built some great chemistry over the course of, the last couple months of really finding our groove and finding our flow. And I think, having fun and smiling is a huge reason why we've been able to find so much success and why people have also enjoyed watching our group is like, you can tell we have a lot of fun out on the court. We play basketball the right way. We celebrate our teammates' success. And I think that's what overall has brought us even more team success. So for me, I try to bring that every single day. And, if it wasn't fun, I don't think you would love doing it. I mean, like I've said many times, like it doesn't feel like a job. I feel like a little kid, and I know everybody kind of gets a kick out of me at practice. So we try to keep it light and fun, and that's what you wake up every single day. And I enjoy coming to practice. I don't know if everybody says that, but I do. Like I love practice. So we just try to keep it light and fun and have a good time with each other.
We'll go Lou, then we'll go Alexa.
But have you ever studied any YouTube tapes or anything of other well-known point guards from the past? And in particular, I was wondering if you're familiar at all with Bob Cousy and his history at all.
Honestly, no. I was never, I've seen like highlight tapes, but I was never one that really like I've seen everybody's highlight tapes, but I was never one that like sat down and studied specific players. Like I just loved the game of basketball and I loved having it on. whether that was men's, whether that was women's, whether that was, the high school level. As a young kid, I would Tuesday and Friday were the days that my high school team played growing up, and those were like the best days of the week for me because I knew that night I got to go to the high school basketball game. So I was always just like a fan of basketball, whether it was men's, women's, pros, college, high school. I just loved to be around the game, and I think that's the best way I could learn. Whether it was my older brother's basketball team, whether it was the high school basketball team, or whether it was turning on the TV at nights, it's just like I was a fan of the game and really enjoyed watching it.
Go on.
What? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I did not watch, so I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go Alexa, then we'll finish up with Kelsey in the back.
Caitlin, how would you compare the way that you can process the game, like kind of live as it's happening, and the way that defenses are regarding you now versus if you think back to May or even like early June? And was there like moments where you really started to realize that was a process that was like picking up for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game has definitely slowed down overall for myself, where I can kind of tell what teams are doing. And through the first like 10 games or so, it was almost overwhelming at points of like I was just getting trapped and blitzed so much off of a ball screen. It was almost just like get it out of your hand. And that was kind of what I was most focused on, of like trying to just get it to my teammates while two were coming at me. I think now I'm kind of almost picking it apart in a way where like I want to get blitzed. Like that should offer us an advantage on the offensive end. If I can hit AB and we can attack out of it, I still think at times we can do a little bit better job of once we do get the ball out of the trap, like we got to be a little bit more aggressive, whether that's our shooters on the perimeter or whether that's our post players playing together. So I think overall, just like my experience in the game has definitely slowed down in that manner. And, teams will definitely switch it up within the game. So I don't think it's something that you can get comfortable to. Like say if the Aces come out tonight and they start in like a drop coverage, like I know at some point there's going to be a ball screen coming. So I can never get used to them just playing drop defense. So I think like I always got to be on my toes. That's something I learned too. And I think also understanding my own teammates and knowing what spots they're going to be in too has helped me be more successful too.
Finish up with Kelsey.
Caitlin, the story with Aaliyah a lot this season has surrounded her offense. She struggled early, but found success. But last night she broke her own franchise record for rebounds. Could you just talk about her impact defensively, especially on the boards, and how that impacts you?
Yeah, I think AB has been tremendous. As of late, especially, she's been huge for us. I thought her defense was pretty good the other night as well. Like that's a tall task getting matched up with Asia, and there's really, only so much you can do. You're relying on your help defense as well a lot. But I thought she was really up for the challenge and did a good job. And I'm happy for her. I think she's had a great year offensively, but also defensively, and then obviously rebounding. Like she's somebody that dominates the boards. I feel like that's been something we've been pretty good at all year long is rebounding. And when you have somebody like her really, patrolling the paint, like you feel pretty confident in there. So I feel very fortunate to be able to come into this franchise and have a post player like that I get to work with and learn with. Like obviously we're both young, so it's fun for us getting to continue to learn. I feel like we've kind of found our connection as the years gone on, but I still think AB is really raw. Like she has so much skill right now, but I think like really sky's the limit for her. Like she can continue to improve and get so much better. And like I said, she's already really good, but I think she's going to be one of the best players.